Now, top of today's news is a follow-up on the news that Bobby Lashley and MVP are expected to leave the WWE, and that Tamina Snuka may also be leaving as well. Interestingly, none of these reports mention that WWE adding time to Lashley's contract for injury, which has been the WWE standard operating procedure. As Bleacher Report noted, the 48-year-old was set to take part in the King of the Ring tournament but had to withdraw due to an undisclosed injury. Regardless if Lashley's contract expires, with PW Nexus reporting it ends around August, he could find himself reuniting outside the WWE with members from one of the promotion's most popular factions. But why the internal roster is a major factor in news. Now, it's also important to note why Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Tamina Snuka's absence from the internal roster is a big deal. Well, Sportster recently explained how the WWE's internal roster is a little different from the one you'll find on WWE.com. It's effectively the list of superstars who WWE either has plans for or intends on using in the future, even if they've not been seen on TV for a while. Removal from that roster is a step beyond WWE not having anything for you right now. It means that the company doesn't foresee having anything for you in the future either, hence a belief that Lashley, MVP, and Tamina might all be leaving the company soon. The WWE hasn't used Tamina since early 2023, while MVP has largely been relegated to live events where he manages Omos. As for Lashley, he was supposed to work at the King of the Ring 2024, but rumor has it he was pulled due to an injury. But what is the real reason why Lashley is now done with WWE? Bobby Lashley's rumored WWE exit could lead to a Hurt Business reunion outside the WWE. A new report indicates MVP has also been removed from the WWE's internal roster. Dave Meltzer commented on the situation during an episode of the Wrestling Observer Radio. I know that there's talk of them trying to get into AEW. It's one of those things where technically nobody can talk to them because I don't believe either's contract is expired, but their contracts are going to expire. As things stand right now, WWE is under the assumption that they are gone and that they're going to try to revamp the Hurt Business. I don't know if they'll use that name or not. I guess it depends on the ownership of that name. I think I saw MVP try to register to own the name, which would mean that they would maybe even try to use the name. Meltzer speculated on how things could play out for the reunion. But whatever it is, they want to get Shelton Benjamin, who's also a free agent, and revamp the group in AEW. Whether this happens or not, I mean, it depends on Tony Khan, but it's definitely something that is under consideration. I don't believe it's a done deal or anything like that, but it is something that is alive. As of right now, Bobby Lashley and MVP are both going to be gone from WWE when their contracts expire, which is relatively soon. While it's unknown who owns the name to the Hurt Business, presumably the WWE, which tends to trademark any and all intellectual property it can get its hands on, it's easy to imagine Lashley and company reuniting under a lawyer-friendly name that sounds familiar. What's not known is if Lashley and MVP have discussed who would replace Cedric Alexander, who is still in WWE. The Hurt Business is another example of Vince McMahon's mercurial booking of ending a fan-favorite faction long before its shelf life expired. McMahon likely left lots of money on the table when he split the group up. Likewise, Triple H did the same, as MVP claims Triple H turned down his request to reunite the faction. Now, for some fans, the WWE's efforts to pair the Street Profits with Lashley seem like an attempt to make up for the company dropping the Hurt Business. As mentioned, the move did nothing for Lashley or the Street Profits. If Lashley leaves the WWE, there's no telling what's next for Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Fans have been clamoring for a singles push for Ford for some time, but the WWE appears to have no interest in it. But fans may be asking why Lashley and MVP are very interested in reuniting the Hurt Business. I would believe that Lashley and MVP are well aware of the marketing benefits to reunite the faction, as fans will jump at the chance to see how the group does when booked well. Lashley and MVP wouldn't also have to adopt a new gimmick, as long as they avoid using any WWE IP, which means they and Shelton Benjamin could get over very quickly. A Hurt Business reunion can rejuvenate any promotion. That's not to say it's a cure for a down-on-its-luck promotion, but it could be a valuable component in restoring fan interest. Even more interesting, the Hurt Business could end up in TNA Wrestling, with the WWE making it appear that the group has left the WWE by having them participate in the ongoing crossover between NXT and TNA. Whatever happens, a Hurt Business reunion is an ideal way for Lashley, MVP, and possibly Shelton Benjamin to hit the ground running in another promotion, and if handled correctly, could benefit the promotion they work in. Next up, MVP breaks silence on his exit. Now, a recent Instagram post from MVP have fans wondering whether the Hurt Business's former manager is commenting on rumors he's leaving the WWE. MVP wrote, "I'm in the best of spirits. I love all of you. Don't worry about me. I'm just fine." MVP added, "All is well over here. Thanks for the love." He even went to X and posted a salute emoji. In regards to MVP's WWE deal, PW Insider notes, in the case of MVP, his current WWE deal is up in mid-August, and there have not been any major discussions as of yet about a new deal. There have been some talk about potentially using him as a producer or announcer, but nothing ever really came about in either role. Next up, could WWE sign talents at the last minute though? Now it's possible that the talents rumored to be leaving in the WWE, Lashley, MVP and Tamina, could end up staying, as fans and pundits have pointed out that the WWE could reach a last-minute deal with the trio. However, would any of these talents want to stay in the WWE after they've been misused, or in Tamina's case, not used at all? Indeed, this fits in with the TKO Holdings' new policy of waiting until very late in a superstar's contract before negotiating a new deal, or with a few exceptions. Next up, why is WWE letting these talents get away? Why would the WWE let Lashley, MVP and Tamina leave the company? In Tamina's case, the promotion hasn't used her since early 2023. There have been no rumors or reports of Snuka being injured, so it appears that the WWE hasn't found a role for her despite her being a reliable wrestler. MVP has repeatedly shown his value as a manager. The former US champion and WWE tag champion is fantastic on the microphone, and he played a large role in Bobby Lashley's transformation into WWE champion. He can get physical and even compete as needed, which makes him more of an asset. He's also helped Omos, another underutilized superstar, during the big man's infrequent appearances on TV. As for Lashley, his main event run as WWE champion shows he's very capable of carrying a brand. The Almighty's biggest obstacle during his title runs was their obsession with pushing Roman Reigns over everyone in the WWE. The promotion could have had some big money matches between Lashley and Reigns, but instead it jobbed Lashley out in inconsequential TV matches. Next up is WWE planning a Rhea Ripley Jey Uso storyline romance. Could the Judgment Day's Rhea Ripley end up in a storyline romance with Jey Uso? Main Event Jey has made the overtures to the Eradicator that he's there for her if she needs a shoulder to lean on. In addition, Rhea recently confirmed that she has Jay's phone number, which has fans curious what's next for these potential star-crossed lovers. Sportster recently commented on things, revealing, "It appears WWE will be running with this storyline moving forward and teasing the idea of Ripley and Uso being an item. It's in line with a recent report that Ripley is being viewed as a babyface internally following her return, and teaming up with a fan favorite like Uso would certainly push that." Would you guys like to see this on-screen couple? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, Liv Morgan gushes with praise for Triple H. Last but not least, Liv Morgan is gushing with praise for Triple H. The current Women's World Champion had this to say during a chat with a Big Show with Rustic and Rose. "Working with Triple H has been amazing. I grew up a huge fan, but I never thought someone I idolized would one day be my boss. I'd be under his guidance and tutelage. He's so helpful with any questions that I have or anything that I'm thinking. He's always open to listen and to help me out. I couldn't be more grateful for that. I walk into work so excited every single week to see what kind of shenanigans we're going to get into. It's a very happy, open, creative atmosphere. Morgan has certainly come into her own after the last couple of years, but nothing like she's done since returning from a shoulder injury. Not only is she women's champion, but she's involved in a high-profile feud with Rhea Ripley and one of wrestling's most entertaining programs that's seen her chase Dominic Mysterio